Hey, Shalom, Shalom. When the soul souls by giving no praise to Yahweh, Shem, Yahshua, B'Shem, Kodash, that belongs to the apostles, GMS, and honesty, brothers doing the work of the Most High in truth and in sincerity. So, a quick one, inspired from a statement brother made in at the camp, brother Napash made at the camp the other day. Did another psychology related one yesterday. I'd already started this, but then my phone started bugging out. But yeah, we'll see. Lord's will we can get the video out. Right, so the Milgram experiments. The Milgram experiments on obedience to authority figures was a series of social psychology experiments conducted by Yale University psychologist Stanley Milgram. They measured the willingness of study participants, men from a diverse range of occupants with varying levels of education, to obey an authority figure who instructed them to perform acts conflicting with their personal conscience. Participants were led to believe that they were assisting an unrelated experiment in which they had to administer electric shocks to a learner. Right, these fake electric shocks gradually increased to levels that would have been fatal had they been real. Right, and here you see a graph of what this experiment looked like. Right, you got the experimenter E, the person at the top. Right, it says the teacher T, the person in the middle. Right, it says the subject of the experiment to give what the teacher T believed are painful electric shocks to learner L, right, who's actually an actor and confederate. So L and E are actually part of the experiment together, right? It's only T who's actually being tested, if you will. So the subject is led to believe that for each wrong answer, the learner was receiving actual electric shocks, though in reality there were no such punishments. Being separated from the subjects, the Confederates set up a tape recorder integrated with the electric shock generator, which played pre-recorded sounds for each shock level. Right. So basically, what was happening was a T would basically, just give going up in terms of the electrical voltage, if you will, right? How powerful the electric shocks were, right? And but this is by E pushing T to be like, yeah, just keep pressing, right? It's okay, despite T hearing the screams, right? Now this basically shows you that these people are willing to follow these rules. Now you got to ask yourself, why would Esau put all of this money to find all these kind of learnings out, right? So it carries on. The experiment found unexpectedly that a very high proportion of subjects would fully obey the instructions, albeit reluctantly. And you could say that in quotes. Milgram first described his research in a 63 article in the Journal of Abnormal and Social Psychology, and later discussed his findings in greater depth in his 74 book Obedience to Authority and Experimental View. And you can be sure that Esau, right, is going to be using this in these last days, right, using this understanding in ways of manipulating people and controlling people, right? So we'll start off with this is Sirach, and see where we go. So Sirach 13:23, when a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, and look what he saith, they extol it to the clouds. Okay, so here it is. You have this authority figure basically saying, oh, do X, Y, Z. Now the person in their mind is conflicted. The person in their mind is like, look, this is wrong, right? As you read here in the article, right? These fake electrical shocks increased to levels that would have been fatal had they been real. So basically, they killed, effectively, T killed L, right? Or rather, would have killed L if this wasn't an experiment, just because E said it was okay. Which is funny, they labeled it E, right? So basically, these people will do things that are destructive to themselves, that are fatal, that will be killing other people if they're given the right stimulus. Right now, Esau's aware of this, and once again, he's going to be using these sorts of things and this understanding in these last days, right? Well, it goes on to say, but if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumbled, they will hope to overthrow him, right? So yeah, we to use these examples of this time now, right? us in the know, we're like, look, man, you don't want to be taking certain things that this man's going to be offering you very soon, namely the serum, right? But people, they don't want to listen to us, right? We're telling them, look, man, hey, and the thing is, if you say that and then you make one, you use the wrong word or your grammar is messed up, guess what they're going to start doing? They're just going to start laughing at the fact that you use the wrong word or you messed up your grammar, right? Which is that if he stumbled, they'll help to overthrow him. Now, brothers that have been around these people in the world, right, especially these like middle class ease or just middle class people in general, right? They like doing that. If you stumble, oh man, they will help to overthrow you, right? Just laugh you to score without actually ever dealing with what it is that you were saying, right? Now, Esau's basically making it such that, especially in these last days, that people are gonna start, he's gonna put the spirit in people. Love of many, wax. There we go. Says so the people are gonna get to a stage where they actually get on each other a lot more, right? Where he's basically gonna put that enmity between neighbors, right? And hey, how's he gonna do? We don't know. No, but we can already see that he's trying. He set up an argument. For instance, in America, Democrat against a Republican, right? Pro-masker against anti-masker, masker, right? Pro-serum against anti-serum, right? And that's going to be the next one. And we can imagine all manner of situations how this is going to play out. Whether they're going to bring out the serum and then it's like, oh, the serum's working. It's, oh, no, it's not working. It's all because of those people who don't want to take the serum. And our world will be back to normal were it not for those people who don't want to take the serum. Okay, so like I said, there's many different avenues that this man can play, and as things stand, we're just watching, right? It says Matthew 24:12 says, "Because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold." Right? Got there in the end. Love of many shall wax cold. Okay, so you look at what am I talking about? You look at this situation. We don't, like I said, we don't know how this man's gonna play it, right? But we do know that this man has the ability and the know-how, right, to turn people against one another, right? This is fucking spell sedition, right? This is Second Ezra 15:16. Right, it says, "For they shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. A man shall." So let's break this. Let's look up this word here, sedition. Right, sedition is over conduct such as speech or organization that tends towards rebellion against the established order. Sedition often includes subversion of a constitution and incitement of discontent toward rebellion against established authority. Right, so a subversion. What do you think when you can I do it? Can I do it in here? Let me do that. Nah, it's not gonna let me do it. It's not that smart, right? But says sedition often includes subversion of a constitution and incitement of discontent toward or rebellion against an established authority, right? So it says, "For there shall be sedition among men, right, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the people." Wait, one more. Where am I? "And the course of their action shall stand in their power." What is it? I'm just reshape this. I need to get some sleep, man. Yeah, it's just like seeing words that aren't even on the book, man. Says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able." And you've been seeing that since well, really since what was it, December, January this year. Still, obviously starting off over there in China, and then obviously spread throughout the world. It says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride, right? The city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid." Right, so these major cities, they're being troubled, and in fact, I work with a number of people that all about that zone 1, London life. Right now, for those outside England, Zone 1 London is the London you see in films. That's your Big Bens, your Oxford Circuses, your Trafalgar Squares, right? That's Zone 1 London, which is not representative of London at all, right? Your Chelsea's, this, that, and the other, that is Zone 1 London, right? And but a lot of those people that live by zone, they're all about that Zone 1 London life. They're like, look, man, this is fucking shit, man. I want to go into the country. Why? Because all of those things that made Zone 1 London a playground for them have been shut down. The houses of mirth have been shut down. Okay? And that's just one way of trouble. But there are many more ways of trouble coming into these major prideful cities. Okay? Um, So it goes to say, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread for great tribulation. Now, once again, he knows that he can manipulate these different people to get to this end. Right? You think about the whole toilet paper thing at the beginning when this pandemic, right? Now, when it was the thing that was pushed all over the media, what do people do? Right? They emptied the toilet roll. Right? There was no toilet roll to be found. I remember having to scour my entire neighborhood, trying to find a shop that sold toilet paper, man. And I wasn't able. Right? This time, however, because the media hasn't been putting the spotlight on the toilet paper here in England at least, or here in London at least, let me say that, right? Been able to find the toilet paper. It's not been an issue like last time. Now, why is that possible? Because Esau knows how to manipulate the people. Okay, this is Psalm 64:6 says they search out iniquities, right? They accomplish a diligent search, or they search hard. They do a good job looking into certain things. Okay, this is both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. Okay, so they're not, they've got the resources and ability to actually search out, what people are gonna do in this scenario, what people are gonna do in that scenario, which is why, even as I'm saying this, the social media aspect of things has really helped. Why? Because people are just doing streams of consciousness, right? Training algorithms, training systems. Right now, before there was, you didn't know what people were saying. You would have to have people on the ground infiltrating certain groups. Guess what? People just do it for free online. Right? And all these major governments have all of these social media networks where they control for information, right? To see and manipulate people as well. Okay. Um, but yeah. Let's see if there's anything else I want to say on that. Like I said, I didn't really know where this was gonna go, um, and everything. But hey, this man, he's planning to do some things, man. And he's planning to. I can get that. Doo-doo-doo. Right, it says First Peter's 5:8 says, "Be sober, right? Be vigilant, right? So being vigilant means watching, right? Scriptures talk about watch and pray, right? And actually watch and discern things, right? Filter everything through the scriptures, because Esau's putting a lot of a misinformation out. Esau was what you mean? He's a lie. Psalms 58:3. That is in his nature to tell a lie. Okay, but how do we filter everything out? We filter things out through the scriptures, through these prophecies. We're like, yo, okay, he said this. How does that fit in with prophecy? Right? And then we'll filter it, there's something we've been taught by our apostles, right? We're filtering things through the scriptures, right? So not just watching, because you get these other people in the world, their eyes are physically open, but they're blind. They can't see. Okay, but watching, we watch, we're vigilant, right? And filtering things out the right way, right? It says, because your adversary, the devil, right, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour, right? And one of the ways he's going to be devouring these people is telling them to do things which they themselves know are counterproductive, but but they'll do it anyway. Okay, so like I said, Lord's will that was edifying. Till the next time I say, shalom.